Hey, what's going on, role players? It's the Bard here, and welcome back to the corner. So, this is a little bit of a difficult thing to approach, but you guys do need to know a few facts. But don't worry, everything is fine. And what spurred me to action is this comment. Bard, where you at? Is life getting hectic? Is this channel still active? Inquiring minds want to know. Where to begin? Okay, yes, the channel is still active. I am still here for you guys, and I will still be putting out content. But there is a very valid reason why I've been quiet the last couple of months. So part of the reason that I've actually been quiet recently is because the channel is still active. Now that might sound a little bit strange, but let me explain. So not all that long ago, for those of you who watch other channels as well, you may have seen me do an interview with Dave from Nerdarchy. Now, for me, that seems like a pretty big deal. That's a very large channel, and it's not to be sniffed at. Whilst it might sound great on the surface, it really cements the idea in my head that people are really taking notice of the things that I'm putting out there. And it all is feeling a little bit too real. Everything's seeming so much bigger than just what I'm doing here. Understand that I said the exact same thing to him. This is a one-man operation. It's just me in front of the microphone, putting out thoughts and sharing ideas. So now when I've got big channels asking to interview me, I've got people wanting me to review products, I've got companies coming to me asking me to collaborate with them, people wanting to advertise on the channel. It's getting a little bit out of hand. I started this channel with the idea that maybe a few hundred people might watch and maybe a couple of them might subscribe. And now it's coming up close to 6,500, 7,000 people, which seems like a lot to me. I know there are huge channels that are putting out content all the time, but it's important for me to put out at least decent quality content, because if a lot of people are going to be watching, I don't want to be feeding them false information, and I don't want to be giving out content that's basically worthless and just like trash entertainment. I want it to be good. I remember hearing stories about YouTubers who have had to go into therapy because of the sheer overwhelmingness of the things that they had to do on their channel. And it seemed like a bit of a joke to me, because how much more could you ask for? You've got a great subscriber base, you're putting out content, you're getting paid for doing what you like. It seems great. But again, that's all on the surface. When you really care about what you're putting out there, and you really care about your viewers' reactions to those things that you're talking about, the weight of it all is very, very extreme. You don't want to disappoint, and you don't want to leave people feeling like they've wasted their time listening to what you had to say. And I've also got friends out there who are trying to help me push the channel along as well. They're saying things like, why don't you use affiliate links? Why don't you make a range of merchandise? T-shirts are easy to get printed up. And again, they're trying to help, and they're trying to really help the channel improve. But again, it makes everything so real. Everything is so much bigger than I was expecting. Bottom line is, it feels like a lot of extra worry with all of these additional things that are creeping into the channel, or have the potential to, especially when you want to put out good content that people are going to enjoy. But I don't want you guys to worry about it, and I don't want you guys to worry too much about what I'm doing, because I'm still here, and I will still be making content for you. So much so, that's partly, again, why I have been so quiet lately, because of other kinds of content that I am making. So you're probably asking the question now, what have I been doing? Well, it might sound a little bit unbelievable, but this is all fact. So some of you may have heard about a little book called Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is a little bit unbelievable to me, but I'm still getting my head around it. Now, they wanted to commemorate this book because it's its 125th anniversary. So if I told you guys that Dracula was coming to tabletop, and I would be involved in the making of it, what would you think? I know, it sounds wild, but this is the fact. This is what I've been doing with my time for the past few months. All of my energy, all of my efforts. I've had meeting after meeting after meeting about how we're going to lay it out, what systems we're going to use, what the main focus of the story will be. And it's just so unbelievable that the PR guy for Trinity Knot Studios was able to get a hold of this IP, and that we will be the ones to bring the continuation of this story into the realm of tabletop role-playing. So there's still a lot of ideas, there's a lot of development going around at the moment, and we're still settling on certain aspects that we want to include and what the general focus is going to be. But there are a few things that I can talk about. So we've been quite fortunate in the sense that the guys who do the IP are willing to put in as much backstory as we would like them to. We can use all of the resources that are available, and we've got a lot of help in order to make it really feel like it's part of that Stokerverse. Furthermore, if I understand correctly, anything new that we add to the world is going to be canon. So everything's going to be 100% and completely, it cannot be disputed. So it's very important for us to get this right, because it's going to be set in stone once it hits the shelves. On top of that, they enjoyed the pitch so much that they've already given us the green light for future expansions to this, providing of course we get this initial one right. There's also the potential talk of a board game that they are interested in perhaps getting us to do as well. And even, and this is what really blew my mind, there's the potential there also for interactions with Sony Entertainment and the possibility of even making a digital game. So maybe something for your Xbox or PlayStation. So I don't want to get you guys too excited about it, but these are the talks that we're having. What goes through, what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, I don't quite know yet. But at the moment, I'm working almost full-time on the RPG game itself and trying to really get our factions together, as this is going to be a game of secret societies in 1900s London. Additionally, we've now settled on the system that we're going to use. We've agreed that if we use the Blades in the Dark system, it would perhaps be exactly what we're looking for, considering the context of the book and how everything is done through correspondence and letters for the majority of how the book reads. We felt things like the flashback system would really give a lot of comparables between how the book reads and how people interact with their role-playing. Of course, there's a lot of other things that go into it as well. We have to get the system to marry up with what we're writing. We have to make sure the artwork is reminiscent of the feel of the book. There's the layout, there's text and fonts, and there's a whole bunch of other things. We've got a whole plan about what we're going to include, what should have and could have and would like to have, and everything's become like a huge management project, and it's all really official at the moment. So it's a very difficult way for me to work, as I tend to be very arty in nature. So for me to have to work in almost like an office style sense isn't easy. So it's a bit of a strain, but at the same time it's all going to be worth it, I think. I hope. Providing everything goes according to plan, the idea is that we'll be able to kickstart this in late April of next year. As it stands, this is the biggest thing that I've ever been involved in, and I want to make sure that it's absolutely perfect when it hits the shelves. So that's the reason for my absence. I will still be putting out content, I will still be here for you guys, but I am working very hard on this, and something had to give somewhere. And I am sorry for that. I I genuinely feel that there is a lot of work that's ahead of me, and there's a lot of things that are still yet to come on top of real life, like everyone else has to deal with, work, family, and all that kind of stuff, concentrating on your health. And but to have this as well as YouTube, and try to fit in all the other things that remind me that I'm still a person. Yeah, I there is it is difficult to put everything all in one place, and video creation and content creation does take a long time, and it's it is something that has slipped away from me, and you all deserved an explanation as to why. I know this hasn't been very well edited, especially with my audio, but it's all very raw. It's all very get that information out there, let people know, and just be as open and as clear about it as I can be. I really want to thank the commenter for asking about me and making sure that everything is all right. And I know that there have been other people who are thinking it too. And I want to send out a personal thanks to this commenter who cared enough to at least ask where I was. But I don't want you guys to worry. Everything's fine. I'm still going to be here. And who knows, in a couple of years' time, things could be really different. But there will still be content. If you guys are interested in the project and how it's developing, let me know. And when I've got some real juicy information for you, I'll make some content about it. If you're thinking that's a book I'd really like to have on my shelf, well, again, let me know, and I will keep you guys updated. And with all that being said, I will see you guys next time at the gaming table.